Hi everyone and welcome to March Faves and Fails. This has been a busy month. I've tried a lot of products both on and off camera, so we're going to get straight into it without any waffle. If you're new here, hi, my name's Gemma. I upload new videos on YouTube every single week. I would love it if you would join the Pampered Wolf Pack by clicking on that subscribe button, the like button, and also the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. Let's jump straight into the news. I've known about this particular piece of information for quite some time and chosen to stay quiet even though it frustrates the living daylights out of me because literally there's nothing I can do about it unless I hire myself a really fancy, very expensive solicitor and start suing people. And quite frankly, I don't want the stress levels, I don't have the patience, and I don't have the funds. So I've chosen to say nothing. The reason I'm speaking about it now is because I've been approached by several of the Pampered Wolf Pack. Thank you, by the way, for all your concerns and letting me know that things are happening. And a few of you have actually been out and bought this particular product because of what they're doing. So there is a particular piece of fraudulent advertising that is going around. I think it's TLM foundation. Now, I'm not sure if it's actually this foundation brand that's putting out the false advertising or whether it's some companies that are selling it on their behalf that are putting together this fraudulent advertising to try and entice people to buy their foundation. The advertising includes a portion of one of my old videos that features me applying foundation to my mum's skin. She looks gorgeous in that video, but they are claiming that I'm applying the TLM foundation. By the way, I've never bought it, never seen it, never tried it, so it's definitely not that foundation. And some of you actually have been out and bought that foundation because you thought my mum was advertising it, and if my mum was advertising it, it must be good. No, that's not the case, unfortunately, and there's nothing I can do about it. So usually I'm all about spreading the love. I would never try and be negative or ask you to be negative in any way because it's just not my thing. However, if you see one of these adverts, please comment wherever you can that it is a fraudulent ad and the person in the video is not using that foundation, just to try and spread the word so other people don't fall into the trap. So that's all I ask of you, and thank you ever so much for everybody that's let me know. I will always let you know if I'm advertising a product. Always on this channel, you will hear it here first. You will never find out from a third party on YouTube or whatever. And my mum never features in sponsored videos or anything like that. So if my mum's featuring in it, you know it's just not right. It's just not right. And yeah, please don't buy anything from their website and give them your money. It might be the best foundation ever on the planet. I don't know. I've never tried it. But if that was actually the case, they should be making their own content rather than stealing mine. Let's move on. Let's move on to the fails because we've not been negative enough already in this video. This next one got me really cross. I was actually quite excited to try it when I received it. Did I buy this myself? I think I may have done. No, I didn't. This came in PR, so I didn't actually purchase this myself, but when I looked at it, I got it open, I felt it, I was really excited to try it. Looked at the ingredients, and from a distance, everything looks amazing. Squalane, glycerin, I think there are some ceramides in here as well, but don't quote me on that. And then you look a little closer, and you realise that 99% of this product is water and castor oil. Less than 1% of the product are all the other really lovely ingredients, the squalane, the glycerin. Less than 1%. I know this is an affordable product, but they can do better than this. And so can you. I definitely wouldn't recommend buying this. If you fancy trying it, go out and buy yourself some castor oil. It's pretty much the same thing. Moving on to the next fail, and this isn't really a fail as such. In fact, I feel really unkind putting this in the fails category, so let's call this something else. Maybe this is the meh category. This really just isn't my cup of tea. I tried really hard to make this work and to really like this, and I just didn't. It wears beautifully on the skin though, and it was all intact at the end of the day, so that is a major positive for this. It's just a little too heavy for me. This is from ERBORIAN and it is the Super BB Cream. I have never tried anything from ERBORIAN before. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I've got a feeling I'm not. I will get my hands on their original CC cream, and I believe they've got another product as well that I really want to try. This just looked too heavy on my skin regardless of how I applied it. I tried with fingers, I tried with a sponge, I tried with a brush. I thought I would be able to shear this out a little bit with a sponge, and it just wasn't so. If you are after something that feels really nourishing on the skin, that really gives major coverage and also is non-drying and lasts an incredibly long amount of time, you may love this, but it just looked a little too mask-like for my personal preference. I like to be able to see a little bit of skin poking through. I just couldn't do that with this, and the sheen on the surface of the skin, which was beautiful by the way, just looked a little bit too unnatural with the coverage that this gives. Not knocking it as a product, I'm sure so many people are going to die over this. They will be obsessed, but yeah, I'm not. Let's talk my final fail in this video. These were such a disappointment for me, and the major thing about my disappointment, I was super disappointed that I'd spent £75 on these. You know I'm your guinea pig. I do not mind in the slightest shelling out for products. I just hope I love more of them than I don't like. And unfortunately, I bought 2 shades of the Bobbi Brown Under Eye Correctors and 1 shade of the concealer. I really don't like these. Again, I'm sure these are gonna work for some. If you have seriously dry under eyes, you might like this, although I did think that they accentuated the dry texture underneath my eyes. The only reason I think that some people may like this is these are incredibly emollient and add that emollient sheen to the surface of the skin. They are quite hydrating on the under eyes, but because they're so emollient, they've got a lot of movement to them. You have to build these up to get the coverage required, and because of that, they move and crease all over the place. I also found with both of the products, the correctors and the concealers, the coverage faded throughout the day. So as it sank into the skin a little bit more, the coverage just wasn't there. It's like it slid off my skin, but I could still see it was there because you could still see the sheen. But all of a sudden, the coverage had just, it's like it just evaporated. So not a big fan. Really not a big fan. Waste of £75. If any of you love this, please don't let my opinion be the only one on this channel. Have your say in the comment section. Let everybody know your thoughts and experiences on any of the products that I've tried out and really didn't like or really loved in this video. If you've had a different or even a similar experience, please let everybody know. So I was really disappointed about these, especially the under eye correctors, because I've been looking for a cream under eye corrector to use on the go, you know, on the fly when I'm in a real rush. And unfortunately, these didn't really cut it. The shades are amazing. The bottom shade here is Bisque, and the top shade is Light Peach. Both of them work beautifully. In fact, I could use Bisque just on its own, so that is a real fast product to use. But again, it didn't last very long and it creased, and I have persevered. I love the packaging though. It's really nice and magnetic, which means you're not going to lose the lids if you do carry these around in your handbag, take them on the go. The formula of both the colour correctors and the concealer was just a little bit too wet for me, and I think that's why it just had a little bit too much movement underneath my eye and I didn't have success with it. I prefer a slightly drier cream formula, one that is equally as hydrating and nourishing, but tends to set down and these didn't. First product, Guerlain bronzer. This is the prettiest, most subtle bronzer I think I've ever tried. If you want something a little punchier, this probably isn't going to be for you. It does take a while to build up. It's definitely buildable though if you want to. It has a slight bit of radiance in there, and yeah, it's just out of this world beautiful. You can also use this as a blush as well as a bronzer if you want to. I am going to do a video which will show me applying this, because I have had a couple of people ask me how to get the best out of this and how I would apply it and what brush I use. So that is definitely coming, but it's such a great bronzer, so pretty, really girly, and gives you a little bit of dimension. Does have a scent to it, which apparently is the Guerlain scent, not the Estee Lauder scent that I sold everybody before. You'll have to excuse my dimness. It's lovely, it's not overpowering, but it's definitely there. Forgot to mention the name of the product, didn't I? This is the Guerlain Terracotta Light Bronzer, and it's in the shade 02 Medium Cool. They do have other shades. I think there may be some slight discrepancies depending on where you are, on what numbers and what these shades are actually called, because I seem to remember that I've got the fairest shade bronzer in Cool, and there is a fairer one to choose from on the website in certain countries. I think it's light cool rather than medium cool. I really don't know. I am just reading what is on the back of my bronzer, and it is beautiful. So this is the shade, absolutely gorgeous, 02 Medium Cool. Next product, the MAC Stack Mascara. This is hands down the best mascara that I have ever used, and I say that with complete and utter confidence. I've only had this now for 2.5 to 3 weeks. I have already bought another one for fear that this one might run out on me and I won't have a spare. So there are 2 different ones that you can buy. So 2 different versions of this. One has a really thin brush for more length rather than volume, and the one that I like, I mean, I don't know if I don't like the other one, but I definitely like this one, so I bought another one of these. This one is the Mega Brush for instant volume, and it seriously gives that in spades. My only criticism of this, I wish it was slightly more waterproof. I don't want it to be waterproof, but I don't want it to smudge as much. If my lashes touch my upper lids, then this does transfer, unless I've powdered that upper lid. I've got a feeling that when I'm away on holiday, this will transfer like mad. So I will be taking my Huda Beauty waterproof top coat with me, so I can just coat the backs of the lashes when I go out in an evening when I've got this on. Again, hands down, best mascara ever, ever. Next favourite goes to Rare Beauty. This is the bronzer stick in the shade Happy Sol. This is not the fairest shade that they do. They do a shade that is slightly fairer than this, but it does have a warmer undertone to it, and you all know I like something slightly more neutral or slightly cooler when it comes to my bronzers. I like to use my bronzers as contour as well as bronzer, so yeah, this adds a little bit dimension as well as adding that bronzed glow look. I love the emollients of this. Is that even a word? Emollients. It's really hydrating and nourishing and super easy to blend out on the skin. You can add this underneath foundation, over foundation. It's just really easy, either a brush, a sponge, or fingertips to blend out effortlessly, and it looks really natural on the skin and allows the skin to poke through. If you are going to apply this underneath foundation, I recommend getting maybe a shade up, because this blends out so beautifully. It can blend into nothing if you're not careful, so you won't get that effect, that deepness, that richness poking through your foundation if you don't go for a shade slightly deeper than the one that you would have if you were applying it on top of foundation. Just be warned whilst you're picking your shade there if you are wanting to put it underneath foundation, but love this. Really love it. It's a beautiful product and I'm not surprised it's so popular. Another favourite from a brand that I've been loving trying out recently, this is from Hello Sunday and it's the SPF 50 Lip Balm. It's so nice and it's not thick and stiff and sticky. It actually dries down into the lips. So it does act like a balm, a little bit like a gloss, but I do find it doesn't stay massively glossy like a gloss for a long period of time. So if you are one of those people that don't like to wear an SPF lip product because it stays too shiny throughout the day and you prefer something a little more matte, you might want to try this. It's not matte, but it's more matte than the other SPF lip balms that I've tried in the past. So it's great, it's got lovely ingredients in there and it's really effective. You really need to take care of your lips. It's a bit of my face that I often completely forget about. I'm always doing my eyelids. I often forget the tops of my ears. I often forget the back of my neck. So important to get absolutely everywhere because sun damage is, it's no joke. It really isn't. So I'm really glad I got this. I have quite a few SPF lip balms now that are amazing. I'll make sure I put a list together to add in my best SPF video that will be coming a little later in the year. Next favourite goes to the NIMYA fan. This is the best buy I think I've bought this month. Is it? Oh, it's close. It's really good though. I love this. It's not a makeup product, but it's great for drying your setting spray. If you are into pretentious wafting like me, sometimes I just do it for giggles. This comes in really handy when I'm in a rush and want my makeup to be perfect. It also comes in really handy when I'm having a little bit of a hot flush, which is happening more frequently than I would like. This comes on a little stand, so it's great because you can pop it down and it will stand up by itself, unlike other handheld fans that sort of fall over. But you can remove it as well for ease of access if you don't want it on the little stand. I personally keep it on there because I don't think it hinders anything and it's still easy to hold. It has 3 different speed fan functions. So the first one is really quite gentle and then you've got a little bit more speed and then whoosh. Jet propeller engine. The other thing that I like is that it's got a little USB port on the back of the fan, so you can plug this in and have it on all the time, or you can just plug it in, recharge the batteries and take it away with you. So I'm definitely taking this away on holiday with me and I will have it in my handbag in the evening, although it's going to be air conditioned where we are, but you know, you can never be too careful. It is a great addition to my desk apparatus. Doesn't often stay on my desk. I tend to take it wherever I go. Next favourite, I'm not going to talk about this for long because I have spoken about this so many times on my channel. This is by Makeup by Mario and it's the Master Hold Brow Gel. In my opinion, best brow gel that's on the market that I've tried. I haven't tried them all, quite obviously, but I used to absolutely love the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. Still a great product, in my opinion. This is better. I used to also love the Refi Brow Sculpt. Still a great product. In my opinion, this is better. Superior hold, it's clear, it does the job. Brows perfected all day long. So, yeah, amazing. In my Spring Must-Haves video, which was in collaboration with Charlotte Holcroft, and by the way, if you haven't watched that video already, I loved filming it. I love Charlotte Holcroft. Please go and watch that video after you've done here, and then pop across to Charlotte's channel and watch her video as well. She is absolutely amazing. If you pop across there, make sure you add a comment and show her some love. Give it a like, give her a subscribe. She deserves way more subscribers than she has, but I digress. In that video, I shared with you my current springtime fragrance favorites. That was a mouthful. I love both of these perfumes for completely different reasons. The Eau de Sens by DIPTYQUE is really fresh, it's zesty, it's light. You can smell me coming when I have this fragrance on because I like to bathe in it. I love it that much. It is so divine. And it's like nothing that I have in my collection, which I tend to only buy fragrances that are completely different to everything else that I have. This definitely is. And yeah, it's just perfect for spring. This other one from DIPTYQUE is also glorious. This is a solid perfume. They do several fragrances in their solid perfumes. This is the Eau Rose. So I love a rose fragrance. I don't like a heavy rose fragrance. I also don't like an old-fashioned rose fragrance. This, in my opinion, is a youthful, light rose fragrance. It is just enough. And I have this on today. It's lovely. It really is beautiful, and it's more affordable than the Eau de Sens. So if you're looking for something slightly more affordable but you're wanting luxury, this is definitely it. The packaging is metal, but the insert, the actual perfume bit, is detachable. So it does pop out and you can get refills for this. So you only need to buy the container that this particular fragrance comes in once, and then you can just buy the refills as and when you need them, which is great. The final favourite in this video goes to NÉCESSAIRE. This is the deodorant gel, and it's in the fragrance Eucalyptus. Now, they don't have any artificial fragrances within their ranges. It's all essential oil based, and if you don't like essential oils, they do a fragrance-free version as well. I had never heard of NÉCESSAIRE before until I started speaking to Stephanie Marie, and I know how much she loves the deodorant gels and the body creams and the shower gels and everything that they do. She's a huge fan of. So I was really, really happy when NÉCESSAIRE approached me and asked me if I would like to receive some of their products to try out. This is the one that I've been trying out over the last 3 or 4 weeks, and I really like it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan of eucalyptus as a scent, so I think I would prefer this in the unscented version. But this has 5% AHAs in here to help combat odor, discoloration, uneven skin texture. So yeah, I really like it. It's quite a multi-purpose thing. It's not just a deodorant, it does other things as well. And I've never tried a deodorant with added AHAs in there. Now, granted, this is more expensive than my usual Dove deodorant, but I really like everything that NÉCESSAIRE as a brand stands for. They're really eco-conscious. They are very transparent with the information that they put out. So if you want to have a look at the carbon footprint of each and every product, you can find that on their website. Each and every product's packaging that they do, I believe, is 100% recyclable. And I believe they use recycled materials to create the packaging where they possibly can. So these are vegan, cruelty-free, and fragrance-free. They do use essential oils for their fragrance, like I said earlier, but they do an essential oil-free version of their products as well. I've really enjoyed using them. I am going to be getting the fragrance-free gel deodorant to try, and I'll let you know how I get on with it, but it definitely works. So that's it for this video. I really hope you've enjoyed it. There have been a lot of products that I've tried out in the month of March. I hope I didn't waffle on about each individual item too much. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Have you tried any of these? Did you like them? Did you not? Definitely have your say and pass on your experiences. Don't forget to hit that like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell, and hope to see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.